in this study, we start with the analysis regarding courses in our universities. So, related to Cdio initiative, which is a big organization. I will explain it. And related to two elements important is related to lectures and seminar, how we can synchronize these two different form of interactions or activities for our students. So students all time they have challenges regarding to the challenges regarding to how to find synchron, or how we can find the answer to many questions. So in this situation, I will present in this study, I will present one course, is research design courses. So how students can be engaged there. So students before that ask it about which is questions relations between the lectures and between the seminars. So they find dividing, they cannot find an cooperations between these two areas. So in this situation, we start with this course this semester, and before that we oriented to Cdio standard initiative. So Cdio work in engineering area, in educational engineering area, help students to get skills after finishing their studies. And the Cdio concentrated in four aspects: is created conceiving or conceptual form, in which is read the materials around the students to be able to be understood. So then after that, starting with designing of content of the material, lectures and others, implementing this in the educations and operating. So they work with these four aspects. So in this situation, they appear one thing, we call it standards. So Cdio standards. In standard, they have 12 standards. In this situation, our situation, we will take just two standards, standard 3 and standard 8. Standard 3 is relating to integrated curriculum, and standard 8 is regarding to the active learning. So this the first one, standard 3, is integrated. How we can integrate? It's related to syllabus design or study guide design, and supporting the course discipline, our materials, which include inside, to be integrated that in activities in the school or in the university or the course. So this is the one area, integrated based on interpersonal skills. So, and then this can build skills for the students after that. Why we mentioned to this course, because after that students start with their thesis, writing a thesis. How can write a thesis according to what you know it's very difficult for students to from first time writing a thesis. So therefore this course with 3 credits helps students to start with this process. And then we start with active learning, in which we are oriented to method or learning method. So how we can engage students directly in a problem. So we create a problem, and then students start to find solution by activities. So in this situation, the role of students, of teachers, how to create engagement, how help students in engagement in active learning. So students' role and teacher role and students, they can, as you can see, start from the active and happy active, where teachers can come and intervene in this learning environment, and we have a passive form in which indirect, so teacher just listen to the students and wait ideas, and solving from the students. So this can create in students stresses and not creative. So In this situation, we put one map, or as you can see here, happy or unhappy. So we have in micro engagement or macro engagement. Micro engagement, this is traditional learning system or process where we don't take care for, or in courses not take care to the course as ELIOS or intended learning outcomes. We just oriented to the small knowledge area in the courses, but the other is no, we take all as a macro. So reading will be more huge, and then learning process must be creative. So is from passive to be active. So this in this situation helping students to create their thinking and then their project and research, because it's regarding to the research, and in this students can create the balance in this process. So when we come now in teacher activities, the concept, so combining the concept of active learning, this is regarding to activities between active learning and learning outcomes. So we have an activities of learning in which we work with that, and we have after that we have learning outcome, and after that we can find from the students the reflections. So how we can combine this concept of active learning to be clear learning goals. So this is the first, and the project, I mean thesis, regarding to course design. So course design, so starting not from the lecture, we start with the course design and how can be our help students to can successfully experiences in learning this area. The activation, the role of groups. So many students feel that they are isolated. So we start to activate groups or mini groups, something like that, and then this can help to students to create interest for learning. So active learning, when teacher feeling that sense of achievements, he have something in which is clear, and this can be reflected by students. So all time students, they have different understanding, and the goal and the objectives between lecture and the seminar is changing. It's not clear, it's not constant. So from time to time, it must be read it and reformed. In this situation, as you can see, problem-based learning model, in which, as you can see here, we have learning environments. So we have Cdio, in which I mentioned 3 and 8 in this situation. And we have an active learning in which we make combination between study guide, in which we created it according to what we have or what we receive from the students as evaluations, and then reform the study guide, and then both Cdio goals or standards with the study guide, and in the learning environment can be integrated. So this can be integrated factor. We have in this situation, we have 2 area course in which will be the course design regarding communications, how the course start, during, and after that. Another aspect is regarding the evaluations. Evaluations can be 2. In the end of the course, we have an evaluation, we have mid-course evaluations. So acting or is in, as you can see, in lectures and seminars. Lectures will be theoretical. So theory in which all or many students, they just hear and they not activate or can just listen. So, and seminar, they come there, so they have something with we have dividing, or we have an separations between 2 aspects. So, but for our course, it's required lectures and seminars. So in this situation, we start with how we can create both acting, and then we get results, and this result can help us for future courses. Course areas, we put it as I is presented. So one is regarding to the knowledge, other to the skills and abilities, and judgment and attitudes. So we put for this course with 5 target or 5 intended learning outcome, which will be reflected after finishing the course, and then we can see what happened for this course. So starting with the project-based learning, so we have a project. So for one course, the research design course, so we have research. So the course is just help students or get him experiences for the degree projects, so for thesis. So that can be by systemic analysis based on the well-defined problem. So it's important to define the problem. And after that, the course activities, students need first to become objective researchers. So this is our target. The other students have to use various resources to find answers. So that we put questions, and students need to find answers by their own competence, and then they solve after that the research problems. But we divide this in two areas. It's not just find answer. So find answer in phase one as a knowledge-based lecture. So we have a project example in which can support the students, can read it, and then can get a knowledge regarding what they need to do. After that, phase two, they need to put in creativity. So they need to create their own research. So this must be original. So by synchron of communications or active communications, so many aspects. So we start and finish with the first part of this course with the lecture, and then we come after that with the seminar. In seminar part, before the seminar starting, so students take an object, or can take an thesis or a proposal, or so they start to describe writing something, problems or research questions. They start to create a topic, and then we follow students in part of activation, because this is just for showing the role of the teacher and the students in working there. So in similar it is divided in three sections. So by these sections, we start first with the, as you can see, the first hour of the seminar, students in the role of critics. So students start to read other assignments and then put their opinion, comments, feedbacks for that, and the students in this situation are critics. After that, the students start with the interaction and discussions with the peers. Peers will be students. So we create in small groups in between. So start with peers to discuss the problems and which is the required, which is the minus, which is, so the area of discussions will be open in this situation. The third hour is discussions between the teacher, reflections, and the students, and the teacher in this situation come as with his experiences to help students to read it in optical or an objective form and in clear form. So after the course finishing, we create students as researchers and critics. We put for them a project. Project is, they decide which is the project. And we have lecture and seminar. Both lecture and seminar work together, because what they have in lectures, and then they can find in seminar in the same situation. In the same situation, students can interact together. So this can create interactions, and can maybe students revise their proposals. They read again, they put it in, read it again, read the topic again, and they come after that with one answer. But we have many conclusions, but I put just here in general these two conclusions, or the unification of these chains. So we have lectures at theory, we have seminars at practice, and the learning process is fighting on the real battlefield. Another learning process, frequently creating and enhance chains. So chains, I mean here the results all time is in new or getting a new informations, and they have and feedbacks, and then they have a new reading. So the new role of the teacher is create the effective correlations between course components, between lecture and seminar, because lecture and seminars can together must be created in a harmony form. And then, you know, as I mentioned, Cdio organizations support us with many standards in which we follow. But in this situation, our course situation, we activate standard 3 and standard 8, and then we take it exactly to the Ilios. So Ilios is the reflections, it's okay, but we end this course after that with some of evaluations from the, I just take some of, we have many, but what is general. So reflections and evaluations students after these experiences. So they can see this, they start with the thought and they change it after that. Flexibility is important for teachers to come, and they can, we find this in students' feedback. And as you can see here, lectures and relations between theory and examples in which it's rich. So many examples, researchers coming in which correspond exactly the themes, and then students can get experiences and reflect it in their work. So yes, that's it. Yes, thank you.